Have you ever thought about why some people stay strong in their faith, even when things are challenging? We're about to delve into this rather fascinating question. First, we'll be examining the idea of trusting God when things are hard. It's a concept that tests us to our very limit, the act of surrendering to a higher power in the face of adversity. It may appear contradictory. In the thick of hard times, when every part of us desires to take control, to fix the situation, we're called to let go, to trust in something bigger than us. Next, we'll be discussing the idea of letting go, trusting that God has our situation all under control. We're asked to have faith that there's a plan, a reason behind our suffering. This is by no means a simple task. It demands a remarkable strength of character, strength that's born out of extreme faith. Then we'll share stories of people who stayed strong in their faith during hard times. It's a task that can appear overwhelming, but it's also a path that can lead to personal growth and development. So, how do these people stay strong in their faith? Let's examine some real-life accounts. Imagine being a woman like Hannah, praying for a child, but each passing year brings no such joy. This is the journey of Hannah, a unique narrative deeply rooted in biblical tales, characterized by very human emotions of longing, sadness, and unwavering faith. 1. Hannah, a woman of exceptional character, lived during a time when not having children was viewed as a curse. She confronted public ridicule and personal suffering, yet Hannah made a remarkable choice. She didn't surrender to despair when people couldn't grasp her sadness. Instead, she found comfort in her faith. She poured out her heartache to the one place she believed could solace, the presence of God. In the peaceful sanctuary of prayer, Hannah revealed her deepest desires. She didn't ask for wealth or power. All she desired was a child that she could dedicate to God's service. 2. Hannah was like a rock, steadfast and unyielding. She held on to her faith in God even when her circumstances seemed to mock her prayers. She clung to hope even when her heart was heavy with unmet desires. She was relentless, even when surrendering seemed to be the easier way out. 3. And then when the timing was perfect, her prayers were answered. Hannah was blessed with a son, whom she named Samuel. Keeping true to her word, Hannah took Samuel to God's house to commit him to God's service when he was of age. Samuel would go on to be one of the most influential figures of Israel. But Hannah's story is not just about a woman's long-held desire being fulfilled. It shows us the power of unwavering faith, trust in divine timing, and a commitment to persistent prayer. It shows us that our hardest challenges often pave the way for our greatest blessings. Hannah's journey is a testament to the amazing power of trust and patience in the face of trials. It serves as a beacon showing us that in our hardest times we can always choose faith over despair, trust over doubt, and patience over recklessness. And when we do, we open the doors for divine blessings to enrich our lives. Think about Joseph, a young man sold as a slave by his own brothers, but he stayed faithful to God. His narrative unfolds in Canaan, where he was Jacob's favorite son, a situation that stirred up envy among his brothers. Joseph was sold to traders who ultimately enslaved him in Egypt. Then, Joseph ended up in the household of Potiphar, chief of Pharaoh's guard. Despite the challenging circumstances, Joseph's faith in God remained. He dedicated himself to his work, quickly gaining Potiphar's trust and a position of authority within the household. However, an unjust allegation from Potiphar's wife landed him in jail. In prison, Joseph's ability to interpret dreams piqued the interest of Pharaoh's cupbearer, who was also incarcerated. Later, when Pharaoh was troubled by his dreams, the cupbearer remembered Joseph and recommended him. Joseph was summoned to Pharaoh, where he deciphered his dreams, foreseeing 7 years of prosperity, followed by 7 years of famine. Pharaoh, impressed by Joseph's wisdom and belief in his divine understanding, appointed him as his second in command. This prediction came to pass and affected not only Egypt but also Canaan, where Joseph's family lived. When his brothers arrived in Egypt in search of food, they failed to recognize Joseph. After testing their remorse for their past actions, Joseph revealed his identity to them. He granted them forgiveness, attributing his life's journey to God's plan of saving numerous lives during the famine. Joseph's story demonstrates that even when we hit rock bottom, placing our trust in God can elevate us to unimaginable heights. Now let's talk about a story from today. Picture a woman named Sarah, busy with her 3 children and her thriving business. Her life seemed near perfect until an unexpected medical diagnosis came to light. Despite the grim prognosis from the doctors, Sarah chose to trust in God. Her faith was not a matter of merely accepting her fate, but an active conviction that even in the midst of the darkest storm, there is a silver lining. She was steadfast in her belief that God was with her, guiding her through this challenging time. She continued to live her life, refusing to let her illness define her. Sarah ran her business, spent quality time with her family, even set up a support group for others dealing with similar trials. As Sarah combined her treatments with her strong faith and unyielding courage, she started noticing small improvements in her health. The doctors were baffled, unable to understand how she was recovering against all odds. But Sarah knew the answer. It was her unwavering faith, her trust in God. Today, Sarah is healthy and thriving, using her journey as a testament to her faith and an inspiration to others. She is proof that even when challenges seem insurmountable, faith in God can lead to miracles. This story from today shows us that trusting in God is just as important now as it was in the Bible. These stories from a long time ago and from today all show one thing: trusting God when things are challenging leads to a great reward. 1. The story of Hannah reveals to us how trust can result in miracles, even in the direst circumstances. Her tale is a testament to the transformative power, unwavering faith, and the fortitude it can provide in moments of hopelessness. 1. Consider Joseph's account, a young man sold into slavery who ascended to become the second most influential man in Egypt. His journey was filled with challenges, yet he never lost faith in God. Choosing faith over fear, trust over uncertainty, he managed to change his adversities. 1. In the modern day narrative, we witness the same impactful trust. Faced with a discouraging health condition, our friend made the powerful choice to trust in God. Despite the odds, he found strength in his faith, leading him on a path of healing and personal growth. Trusting in God is not just about believing in good outcomes, it's about finding courage and faith, even when the course is difficult. It's about the courage to confront our challenges, the endurance to prevail, and the resilience to rebound stronger than before. Trust is a shield against hopelessness, a beacon of hope in the darkest times, and a guiding light leading us to the journey of peace. The power of trusting God is not based on the absence of challenges, but in the ability to confront them with faith and bravery. It's about accepting the journey with all its highs and lows, knowing that God is with us every step we take. In the end, trusting God when things are tough is a journey of faith, patience, and staying strong. This journey is not about convenience or comfort, but about spiritual growth and increased confidence. It's a path that strengthens us, tests our resilience, and enhances our faith. Firstly, let's understand that trusting God when things are tough is a process that builds our inner fortitude and deepens our belief. It's an experience that refines our faith and solidifies our trust in God. Secondly, reflect over your individual experiences. Think about the times you struggled and consider how turning to God either brought you comfort or could have done so. Remember, this trust is not a magic tool that erases our difficulties, but a sturdy pillar that holds us firm in the face of adversity. Thirdly, our trust in God is our refuge in the midst of the storm. It brings peace during the chaos, presents hope in the face of despair, and instills bravery when fear threatens to overwhelm us. In conclusion, remember, like the people in our stories, your faith and trust in God can guide you through the toughest times to a place of peace and tranquility.